what's going on, everybody? It's McPoon Football here, and today, now that the draft order has been finalized, at least for the non-playoff teams, I'm going to do a mock draft. This is going to be really fun. I've been meaning to do one of these on the channel. I have always wanted to really get into a mock draft, so today we're going to really be able to do that. It's a bit early, but you know what? For how many teams are going to play at 14? Yeah, so for 18 teams, it's never too early. Their season's over, and this is all they can look towards. Luckily for me, I'm a Bills fan, so we're good here, but for the rest of y'all, I got y'all. So we're going to get started. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I would do in this mock draft. It's not necessarily, it's considering what, I'm going to aim for realism with it for sure. Like for example, with this first pick, as you will see, I'm going to do something. I don't know if I would necessarily do it, but I think it's what's going to happen. I'm really just going to combine both, blend both. At the end of the day, a mock draft is super unpredictable anyway, so there's no real metric or way I could do to like attempt to even get close to how this will go in April. But yeah, we're just going to get it started. So with the first overall pick, the Chicago Bears have just acquired this. The Houston Texans Texaned the first pick away. Can't even lose, right? And now their quarterback of the future is in jeopardy. I sure hope they didn't really want one of them over the other, because now they do not have the option. They're going to have to sit there and watch as a team likely trades up in all likelihood. And in this case, that team for me, that's going to be the Indianapolis Colts. I know this is like, I know it's popular right now, but it's popular for a reason. It's gonna be very, very likely that the Colts, after this horrible season, horrible year, the owner picking at number 4 says, I don't care what you gotta do. We are going, I am Jim Irsay, and we are going to number 1 overall, and we are going to get a quarterback. So what I'm gonna do, I don't really know exactly what it will take to get it done. From 4 to 1. I don't know if it's around 1 next year. Maybe it's a 2 and like a 5. I'm just gonna get this done. We're only doing the first round here, so it doesn't really matter. But I believe that the Indianapolis Colts are gonna trade up. Chicago's gonna go over to 4. And excuse me real quick. Oh, gee, the Colts just get me that excited. And with this pick, they are going to take CJ Stroud at number 1 overall. And see, for me, I like CJ Stroud. I like Bryce Young. Bryce Young's size is a serious concern for me. I know a lot of people are pushing it under the rug. We have never seen a quarterback this small like get into the league and succeed. Like, he is a very small guy on a team with a poor offensive line who's already Andrew Luck. I don't know that they're willing to take a risk on a quarterback that could get hurt. And when you're talking about size, that's something you really have to keep in mind. Like, if you take Bryce Young and this O-line does not improve, like, he could get hurt and you could just get Andrew Luck no matter how good he is, and nothing will amount for it. CJ Stroud, on the other hand, he's been showing signs of improvement in pressure. He's been making plays. He did make plays in his semifinal game. He looks like maybe that's a step he can take moving forward, and I'm sure it is. He's young. To me, CJ Stroud doesn't horribly excite me. Like, I could easily see him like being very close to Jared Goff. I know people don't want to say that, but I could see him being very close to Jared Goff, who, I mean, that would be a plus quarterback in the league right now. That's what Jared Goff is. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just think this is what the Colts are gonna do. I think they're gonna come up here. They're gonna have a better offer than any other team. You know, further down the board, like say the Raiders, if they don't land one, maybe the Jets, if they don't land one, they're just picking way further back, and Chicago's going to sit there and say, look, we can trade up, we can let them get CJ Stroud, and we can still acquire Will Anderson or Jalen Carter as we intended to. So yeah, that's the first overall pick for me. And the second overall pick, the Texans got lucky here. They are going to grab Bryce Young. And so yeah, this works out pretty well for them. Even though they kind of screwed themselves over. Lovie Smith, maybe he knew he was getting fired. He said, all right, screw it, guys. Let's go win. Yeah, they're going to go get Bryce Young. Uber accurate, such a playmaker. He's a stud. Again, size concerns, but the Texans do have Laramie Tunsil. You know, their O-line actually isn't bad. And they are a team that just needs to swing for the fences, man. They have been bad for a while now. They just need to go for upside, try and grab their QB of the future, and Bryce Young can be that. Bryce Young, I think he can be that easily. So, yeah, we're going to grab him. Good pick for the Texans. And the Cardinals. The Cardinals are also an interesting team, mostly because they suck. And whatever they do here is not going to make them good next year. I promise you that. I have no faith in the Cardinals unless they grab Sean Payton. Kyler Murray steps his game up, and they have the most active free agency of all time. I have no faith in them, but they can start here. And the way they're going to start here, I'm going chalk. I'm grabbing Will Anderson. Will Anderson, to me, is the best prospect in this class, regardless of positional value. I think he's a blue chip, stud, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett type prospect, like Chase Young type, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to come in here, like, he's going to have like 8-9 sacks, like, in year one. And you're going to expect him to make that jump and be like a double-digit sack guy his whole career. Like, that's what you're getting with Will Anderson. Like, he is a freak. He's going to be great. And in this situation, he lands in Arizona and makes an immediate improvement to that defensive line. So now the Chicago Bears, again, chalking it. We're going to go Jalen Carter. This works out great for them. This is the position they were in before they lost and the Texans won. They were like, I want Will Anderson, I want Jalen Carter, whichever one, you know. Now they really get to do this and pick up extra draft capital because the Colts wanted to trade up to number 1. So they're going to get Jalen Carter. He was kind of quiet today. Today was the championship game, but I mean, nobody really needed to be loud. They got blown out the water. TCU did. But yeah, Jalen Carter's a stud. He reminds me a lot of like Chris Jones. And he can definitely become that type of player. I think he will. I like Will Anderson a lot more. I have him like way over Jalen Carter. Like there's a tier gap. Like for me, like I think Will Anderson is like that much better than anybody else. But Jalen Carter is like blue chip for sure as well. He's great. So yeah, I think that these top 4 teams are all happy right now. I'll tell you that much. However, the Seahawks, they now find themselves in a situation they did not want to be in, right? I don't think they're going to go quarterback. It doesn't feel like a Pete Carroll Seahawks move to me. I think Geno Smith bought himself some time, good 2 years. He had a good season. They're a real like conservative team in some regards, and I don't see them replacing him. So we're going to look down the board, right? And I think this pick needs to address defense for sure, in my opinion. And for me, that is going to be Myles Murphy. Myles Murphy is definitely my edge too. I really like him. I think he's going to test out well. He's pretty refined. He could use some more in that regard, but yeah, I think he's sick, honestly. And I think he's going to go higher than some people may think. I know a lot of people have Tyree Wilson over him right now. I don't agree. I think Myles Murphy is like really good. And so that brings us to the Lions, and the Lions at pick number 6, right? I mean, yeah, they're happy to be here. And it's a real question. Do the Lions, do they want to go with Will Levis after Jared Goff has had a really good year? He was a top 10 quarterback this year, in my opinion. Probably, right? I mean, it was a weird year for quarterback. I don't think you can name 10 better. And he seems to be their guy. And I feel that they should go quarterback here, even if that is only Will Levis. I think they should go Will Levis here, because they are not going to be picking this high ever again. Like, not ever again. That's not what I mean. They're not going to be picking this high, like, hopefully for a while, right? Like, this team made good strides this year. Like, they finished 9-8. Like, they're a good team now. The Lions are good. They're not going to end. This is not even their pick. This is the Rams pick, you know? They're not going to end up with a pick this high. And so for me, this would be a real good place to take Will Levis and sit him behind Goff. But I don't think they're going to do that. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. I think that defense needs help, and they view Jared Goff as somebody who could take them there with a good enough team. So for me, I'm actually going to go I'm probably going to go with Brian Brzee here, unless the team wants to trade up. You know what? No. The Panthers are trading up here. That's what's happening. The Panthers are going to trade up here and they're going to give up a lot. I'm going to give up the 2nd and a 3 next year and a 5 this year. And we're going to give them 6. They're going to move up 3 spots. And the reason they're going to do this is because the Panthers, they want to jump the Raiders. See, for the Lions, it makes no real difference whether they're picking a 6 or 9. There's going to be a good defensive player at a position of need for them because they have a lot of needs on that defense. And if they can pick up a bunch of extra picks to really build that team, they're going to do it because the Panthers are desperate and they need a quarterback, and they are going to draft Will Levis here, and he's going to look good in blue. Yeah, and you know the story. You know Will Levis. They think he can be Josh Allen. I mean, I hate how people say that, right? They say, oh, we knew this was going to be Josh Allen. We knew he was a toolsy guy who could, become this or that. Like, nobody was saying that. Like, nobody said that, man. People ragged on Josh Allen. They were on him, and now that he's good, everyone wants to say, well, we knew he could be that. None of you guys did. I hate when people say that. And now it's a big fad. Everyone wants to find the next Josh Allen. So in this case, the Panthers are going to swing. For me, I haven't really watched Will Levis too much. I haven't watched Kentucky. Like, I don't know too much about him. I know he's like toolsy and raw. And so hopefully the Panthers can figure it out, get a good coach in there, and develop him. So yeah. Now the Raiders, right? In this world, by the way, let's say they got Jimmy G, something, right? They don't need a quarterback. They were in no rush to move up. Say they got Jimmy G, right? So what are they doing here? For me, that's either O-line or D-line. That's what it has to be for these guys because their pass rush was really, really bad. And so Tyree Wilson, for example, might be a decent pick here. Brian Brzee, if they wanted some interior pressure. And then on the offensive line, I would probably opt towards Paris Johnson Jr. Jared Verse would be a good choice here. I'm gonna give them Paris Johnson Jr. That is the first tackle off the board. He's very young. I think he's only 19 right now, and he's really good already. He's a very high upside player. I think by the end of this draft cycle, he's going to be talked as consensus tackle 1, like no questions asked. I think he's a stud, and I think the Raiders just can't pass on that. It's been so long since they've invested. I mean, I know they've invested. They got Alex Leatherwood, right? But since they had a functional offensive line, Paris Johnson is going to go play right tackle with them. Colton Miller is a pretty good left tackle, and they're going to have like a good tackle duo, and you can really start to see a decent line building there, especially because you can get guard centers on day 2. Like, you can get those. So hopefully, maybe this new regime, Josh McDaniels, he wants to build a strength first, and maybe for them, just like it was for the Lions, that can be their offensive line. So the Falcons here. Falcons at number 8. Do you pair Brian Brzee up with Grady Jarrett up the middle? It's pretty enticing. Quentin Johnston finally gets some speed. I mean, it seems like they don't want speed. And you know what? They have it with that one guy. That one deep threat. You know what I mean? The Damiere Byrd, but I wasn't even talking about him. But or do they go with an edge rusher, Tyree Wilson here? I think it's probably defense. Let's see what they got. Christian Gonzalez, right? They get a corner, and I think that's their biggest need. Joey Porter. Yeah, I don't think they're going to grab a corner. And by the way, I think both Joey Porter and Christian Gonzalez are too far down the board, personally. And Bijan is too. Bijan is way too far on a big board. But yeah, here we're going to grab Tyree Wilson. He's another guy who's going to test out like freakishly well. And as we saw, like teams like that, they draft at number 1 overall over Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson. So I don't see why this would be different. I think they're going to value that. He's a good run stopper already. He can probably develop. He's got all the tools to develop into a pass rusher, and the Falcons are in no rush. They're a bad team. They really need to retool, and grabbing what could be a premier edge rusher is always going to be a good pick at the top of the first round. So, Detroit Lions, after trading back at number 9, they're going to go defense for me too. Their offense is good. Offense was surprisingly, like, technically the best in the league. Like, they numbers wise, like, but they were certainly like top 5, 6, 7 in like just common sense rankings. Like, they were good. I don't think they need to add. That's without Jameson Williams really playing. They got essentially a first round pick there on the offense from last year, you know? Like, Jameson Williams didn't play yet. So they don't need to go offense here. Their O-line is probably second best of the Eagles. They could use a corner. They could use an edge rusher. But they could really use Brian Brzee. Yeah, Brian Brzee is my guy. The Lions get some interior pressure. Get him next to Lee McNeil, who's been decent. You got Levi Onwuzurike in there. I don't think he's that good yet. I liked him in college. I haven't really been following his NFL trajectory. But, you know, you get 2 guys. Lee McNeil is good now. And he's like a real, he's a real big guy, you know. He's a real stuff the run type. And you pair that with Brian Brzee, you can offer some pass rush up the middle. And Hutchinson, obviously. And then probably Romeo Barra, if he's still there. Or James Houston. At edge, they don't even need an edge, right? Because he can really come in on third downs and rush the passer now. So, yeah, that's a good D line they just built, a decent one for sure, and with a certain amount of depth to it. So, yeah, I think that'd be awesome for the Lions, and they get extra picks by trading down. So, for the Eagles, nobody's talking about tackle. Not tackle. Nobody's talking about O-line, but with how proactive they are about always having good O-line, I could see that being a possibility, considering like they're really aging there. Like Lane Johnson just dealt with another injury. He's still awesome, like, but he's not going to play forever. They have Kelsey's replacement already drafted, but that's what I mean. Like, they're proactive about it, so I think it's possible. It's not going to be for me. For me, I'm going to take a corner, and that corner is going to be, where is it? It's going to be Joey Porter Jr. He's my CB1. I mean, him and Gonzalez, it feels like they change every day for me. Like, they're both really good. I like Joey Porter as a scheme fit. I think he's going to be a real stud in the league. Like, I feel pretty confident saying that. I think it's unfair that the Eagles get to pick at number 10 because the Saints don't know what they're doing. But yeah, in this world, yeah, they got with a good one, and this is probably going to be a real world. They're going to have their choice of corners at 10. If not, I mean, they're going to have corner 2 available for them, whoever that is on their board. So that's pretty scary. I've been seeing a lot of Peter Skoronski to the Titans. Because it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. There's no point in taking the quarterback. Bijan is something I've flirted with, right? Like, if you want to continue that, but like the way they've been going, right after Derrick Henry's end. But the thing is, I don't know if they do. I think they want to like evolve. They're cleaning house. I think they want to be like a modern NFL team. But for their window right now, I'm just gonna go with what everybody's been doing. Peter Skoronski is a great pick for them because he profiles like right now we're not really sure if he's really going to be a tackle or a guard. Guess what? Titans could use either, right? So whichever he's going to do works out nicely for them. So the Houston Texans back on the clock. They picked up Bryce Young at number 2. And they're going to grab another offensive player here for me. I just want to, let's see. We got Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison. Those are probably, the only 2 in consideration here as a first receiver off the board. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go Quentin Johnson. We've seen this a lot too. Bryce Young, Quentin Johnson connection. I don't know. It just works, man. We don't know where Brandon Cooks is going to go. It seems like he wants out. Everybody else, they're all right. They're all right. They have all right. Nico Collins, he's okay. John Mechie, maybe he can be good. Hopefully he recovers from his leukemia. But yeah, they'll just grab an alpha number 1 receiver, and they'll be pretty happy with how this is going. The Jets. So what do the Jets need, right? What went wrong for them? Well, quarterback. I am 1,000% sure the Jets will acquire a veteran quarterback this offseason. 1,000%. Put it on everything. Because they are the most attractive team for a free agent to go to. And I think they're going to be proactive enough. They have probably the best GM in the league, in my opinion. So they're going to be proactive enough to realize that if a free agent doesn't come there, they need to trade for one because they have a window right now. It's weird, but the Jets are good. So who am I going to take here? A lot of people are going online. I think people are sleeping. I think they have the guys on roster. I don't think the Jets need to add a first round tackle or anything like that, right? Like, it's an unfortunate situation with Mekhi Becton because he's just always hurt, but when he's on the field, he's really good. But then George Fant, he's played well at tackle, and so has Dwayne Brown. So I don't understand why everyone seems to think there's a huge sense of urgency for the Jets to go and grab O-line. They could in round 2, round 3, you know what I mean? Or free agency. I don't think they need a first round player on the O-line. I don't know if that's the wisest decision. For me, the wisest decision is going to be to take Brian Branch. He's a really fun player. He's kind of like Daxton Hill in a lot of ways. That's what he reminds me of, at least. Just kind of like a do-it-all guy. Safety, playing the nickel. Probably could hold his own at outside corner, although that's not what he will primarily do. And the Jets, they're aging with Marcus Joyner. He's getting old, and he's not really that great. So I could totally see Brian Branch coming in, maybe replacing him day 1, maybe not, but he will get on the field. And yeah, I like this. So number 14, New England Patriots just got smacked by the Bills. Who do they want? Do they want 3 good tight ends? No, probably not, right? Do they want an edge rusher? I mean, doesn't look like they need one, right? Do they need another unexplosive receiver? Nope. Tackle makes sense for them. And so does receiver. They love their cornerbacks. I think they should grab Jordan Addison. I think there's a good chance they will. And for that reason, I will do it. I think they need explosiveness in that receiving room or anywhere on that offense. They need some speed. I mean, they technically have speed with Tyquan Thornton, Nelson Aguilar even, but they just need an explosive player there. I think Jordan Addison will be that. So the Green Bay Packers. Earlier in the year, you would have said that they were really upset Jordan Addison just went, but they got Christian Watson now. Romeo Doubs, like, he's going to develop, and I see a lot of people taking Michael Mayer. It's weird, right? Now we have to wonder about what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, if he's retiring, which is too bad. I got Christian Watson in my Dynasty League, but it's too bad. But man, I feel like I'm chalking this a lot. But Christian Gonzalez is falling. Do they need him? They got Jair. They got Eric Stokes, Russell Douglas. They don't need him. But would they really take a pass catcher with Gonzalez falling? Or does somebody want a corner? I'm going to trade up to jump Washington. And if that's true, does Green Bay want to trade down? No, I don't think Green Bay wants to trade down, because they're not going to be this bad next year. I think they want Michael Mayer. So they go and get it. Really good prospect at tight end. Green Bay really could use that. Like, Rob Tonyan is, like, really not that good. I know he had that one good year in fantasy. Like, he's not that good. He's also a free agent. They'll probably get him back, but Michael Mayer will, like, be the tight end one. Like, he will be better than Rob Tonyan day one. And I think Aaron Rodgers, like, kind of misses that and kind of wants that. So yeah. Washington. This is a no-brainer here. I am going Christian Gonzalez. CB2 for me. But it's more like 1B, really. And asked me a week ago, he might have been 1A, and asked me next week, he might be 1A again. I really can't make up my mind. He actually kind of fell, but it was just with team needs, I guess. Like, the only team I could have really seen taking him here out of need was, like, the Titans. So yeah, and nobody wanted to move down, move up. Nobody wanted to make anything happen. Christian Gonzalez heads over to Washington, and that is an awesome pick for them. Steelers. What do they need? They could use a corner. They could use D-line. They don't really need receiver. They need O-line too, though. Yeah, they do need O-line. And I'm going to take O-line for them. I'm going to go with the guard. I'm going to go with Cyrus Torrence. He's my guard one. I think he's pretty good. I'm not crazy about him. And this is, like, probably on the higher range of where you'll see him go. But the Steelers have been neglecting it for a while. They're good. They're a well-run organization who doesn't tend to neglect things for a while. And I think they're going to make things right. They're going to grab a guard, make Kenny Pickett's life easier, and hope to get a new OC in there, and maybe manufacture some offense that way. So, yeah. Pick number 18, we got the Detroit Lions. Oh my God, are they happy? Are they happy with all these corners still on the board? And so is Bijan Robinson. No, but I feel like they're such a loyal franchise. That's the thing. Like, how could you give up on Jamal Williams or you know, in particular, right? Because if one was to go between Swift and Williams, it probably would have to be Williams, right? Even though he's better, slightly. He's just older and less potential, you know, slower. So I don't see them being able to do that. He's their team leader in a lot of ways. So as much as I kind of like Bijan, I love Jamal Williams too much to want to see that happen. Jared Verse would be interesting, but with Keely Ringo still on the board, those tools, man. We've seen that the Lions like the tools. They to grab Jeff Okudah, he's starting to work out for them, and now they go get Keely Ringo, and that is going to be a very, very athletic cornerback duo for the Lions. And Now this team is starting to look a lot better. The Lions are good. Who do they got? Brian? Yeah, Lions are starting to look good with these defensive additions in the first round. Bucks. The Bucks. It's weird, right? Is Tom Brady gonna leave? Probably. Are you there for a Richardson team? Keep him in Florida? I like it. Why not? I really like Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be really good eventually. Or, I mean, no. I don't know if he's going to be good. I think he has a real good shot to be good. And even if you still have Tom Brady, I think you still go for this just to develop him behind Tom Brady. He's going to retire eventually. But yeah, I like him. Keep him in Florida. It's a nice kind of story, I guess. Yeah, I just think he's too good of a quarterback prospect to pass up at 19. I mean, 19 for a good dart throw at quarterback is a good spot to get that, you know. Now, the Seahawks. Wow, are the Seahawks happy? Oh, I want to double up on defensive end so bad and grab Jared Verse. Because it's like, you know, they had that one guy from the Chargers playing all right. Would they do that? No. You know, they wouldn't. They wouldn't ever do that in a million years, which sucks because I really want to do it. They would never take Bijan. I mean, they don't need Bijan, rather. They're going to go with Devin Witherspoon here. Yeah, I like him more than Cam Smith, more than Jalen Jones. I like him a lot. He's going to be a riser. Everyone seems to be understanding that. Like he's going to be a real riser. And I think by this time, I think by April, if Witherspoon went at 20, I think that might be perceived as a fall by then. I think he's a really good prospect. So yeah. The Jaguars here, they're upset. They're upset where this one just went, and because they want a corner. They don't need a corner. A lot of people are saying they need a corner. I don't think they need a corner. And in this case, I think they're gonna upgrade on the offensive line. Clark Phillips would be alright, but they already kind of have a smaller corner. I don't think they want two. Darnell Washington is interesting, but not really where I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to see. I know PFF sometimes has good players like Lucas Van Ness, for example. I know they have good Derek Hall's all right. Very, very. Jahmyr Gibbs is better than this, you know, Just gonna look around real quick. DeJuan Jones. He's actually gonna be the guy. Yeah. He's gonna be the tackle. He's gonna go over Antonio Jones. Over Broderick Jones. Over Anton Harrison. Yeah. DeJuan Jones. He has not allowed a sack in his career. That's impressive. I think the Jaguars would be wise to move on from mediocrity to tackle and grab one here. If you don't like the top 4 corners are off the board. Yeah, I think that's what you do. So the New York Giants. They want a receiver here. But they don't want Jackson Smith-Njigba. I don't think. It's not really Dable style. I think they want speed and electricity. Is Josh Downs the answer? Maybe. What else do they need? They really need an outside corner. They do. Yeah, they're going to grab Cam Smith. I wanted to get a receiver them. If Jordan Addison or Quentin Johnson were still on the board, I 100% would have. I think this receiver class is pretty deep, especially in terms of for what the Giants would want, what Brian Daboll would like. because he's gonna want that speed, and you're gonna be able to find speed down the board. Don't worry about that, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna put him with Cam Smith. I think this is a pretty good fit. Not my favorite, but it's a good fit. Then we got the Ravens, and they seem to kill the draft every year. Jared Verse would be such a good value pick, but they have like edge rushers. Like, you can never have too many and all, but they have them. This could be a JSN team, especially if like Lamar Jackson and the organization's like having like discourse about him staying, and I could see this being like a drama, and it just gets to a point where Lamar's like, no, I want receivers, I want help, I might stay, like, sure, we'll stay, but only if you're drafting me this or that. I could see that happening, like, very feasibly, and because I could really see that happening, I'm gonna grab JSN. He's a good player. He's not a speed guy, he's like a slot guy, but he's a good player for what they need. I think that would be a nice combo, Lamar to JSN. So yeah, I think that's a good fit there. The Chargers could use probably like a right tackle. No. They need an interior defensive lineman or a linebacker. Let me look what the IDL. Let me look at the IDL. No. Siaki Aki or Siaki Ika. I thought it was Aki for some reason. I know he has some hype. I know Javon Dexter has some hype. But no. We're just gonna go Trenton Simpson. They need any front seven, and that was the best. Well, outside of edge, they don't need edge. Sorry, they need interior defense or linebacker. That was the best of those positions on the board. Hopefully, it can finally make that run defense like serviceable. At least, maybe a way better team. Cowboys here. Cowboys. They're gonna take Jared Verse. Yeah, they're gonna take him. They don't need him right now. They will in a year. DeMarcus Lawrence is getting old. They'll need him. They'll need somebody on the other end of Micah Parsons. Let alone, Micah Parsons does not play edge like all the time. He has been playing a lot more on the edge recently, which is good. That's where it should be. But he doesn't play there all the time. Like, there's room for a third pass rusher in this defense. Hopefully, for the Cowboys, Dan Quinn doesn't go anywhere. Picks up Jared Verse and can do the absolute most with him, I'm sure. Bengals, I'm not going to think twice about it. I'm taking Broderick Jones. He's fallen. He's probably going to go higher than this. I think that was a mistake on my part. He's going to go higher than 26. The Bengals, they don't have any needs. If Jared Verse is there, they consider it to get like some juice. But they don't have any needs. Like, they're like roster wise, like it's them and like the Niners, like in terms of like best constructed rosters right now, which is crazy. The only need I would say is tackle. You got Lael Collins. You're not gonna see him till maybe halfway through the year, and he wasn't even playing that good anyway. He was starting to play good, but you know, I don't know, like you don't feel that confident in how this season went for him. And yeah, you're just getting a good player at a position where you need 3 tackles. You want that rather. And so yeah, it makes sense for them. And so now, if they're in this situation again next year, Lael Collins goes down, they're gonna feel a lot better about Broderick Jones there. So yeah, Vikings. The Vikings are going to stop the fall of Bijan Robinson. This is look, Dalvin Cook is getting old, and he has clearly lost his step. He's still awesome. I love Dalvin Cook. If you asked me 2 years ago, I had him number 1 in the league over Saquon, over Derrick Henry. He was kind of tied with Chubb for me. And And he's still like that guy. He's still good. He's still electric. But he's not going to be in a year or two. Like, it sucks, but he's at the twilight of his career. He's losing a step. You can see it when you watch him. He's not the same speedy guy he once was. You now get the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley at 27. I don't think you blink an eye for a team whose identity has been based on running the ball to have the luxury of Dalvin Cook, elite running back, out the door immediately. Bijan Robinson in. I know Madison is good and all. He's not Bijan, you know? Like, he's not Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to skip a beat, which is awesome. Awesome for them. So, yeah. Here, I actually should have done this. I'm going to trade this with the Saints. And I'm going to trade 28 and maybe 4th. And this is going to go. Can't do it here, but this is going to go for, I'll just give him around 6 next year, whatever. This is going for Sean Payton. Yeah, I think Sean Payton will be traded to the Broncos. I think it makes a lot of sense for both teams. I mean, obviously for the Saints, if you get a first round, pick for a coach who doesn't want to coach for you, with whoever wants it, right? With whichever's the highest pick, doesn't matter to you. The Broncos, Sean Payton and Russell Wilson sounds kind of deadly to me. I know everyone's down on Russell Wilson. I know he had a horrible year, but like, it's still Russell Wilson, man. Like, before this year, people would have said he was a Hall of Fame quarterback, like probably, like he's playing his way into that, and that's very high praise. Like, Russell Wilson is one of the better quarterbacks we've seen of all time, and he's not really that old either. He's a little slower, but he's still got it. Like, he's Russell Wilson. Like, he can have a bounce back year. Like, things just didn't go right. You're allowed to have a bad year. I mean, not when you're getting paid that much. Like, you're not allowed to have a bad year, but it's possible to have a bad year and come back the next year as like your old self. I think that with Sean Payton, great offensive mind. Yeah, I think that could happen. So this trade would happen before the draft. I should have done that. So it's not as if they're moving up for any particular player here. But who would they then take here, right? Who are they going to look at and feel is a position of need for them? Where would that be for them? Development of quarterback? It wouldn't be Tanner McKee, right? Are there even any other good quarterbacks? Not really. No, so it won't be that. Nolan Smith. They've invested in the D-line. They still might take him, though. Foskey. BJ Ojolari. Brother of Azeez Ojolari. I don't know that they're going to go that route, and definitely not with BJ. That's not really their type. They like a bigger edge rusher. I think this is a tough spot for them. But I think in this situation, you're taking Siaki Ika. I think you are. Yeah. They could use it. This position in need. He's a good player. And it's just an awkward spot, really, for them. It's like they have so many needs but so little needs at the same time. Like, they have players everywhere. There's just an air of mediocrity around them right now, right? It's like, if you could upgrade everything, you would. But yeah, I think that's a good pick for them. I think that can happen if they were to acquire this pick, which I also think could happen. So, yeah. Now we got the Buffalo Bills, my favorite team, so I will be pretty excited about this one. What I'm not excited about is the fact that Osiris Torrance went so early, because he's been making it here in a lot of drafts. I guess I just like him more than most. And so what do I think the Bills' needs are? I mean, I think they really, really badly need the interior of the offensive line. But the value isn't here at all. That's the problem. So they're not going to go that route. I don't think you can justify going edge rusher again after you've invested so much into that in recent drafts. I wish you could. There's some talent here. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm going Josh Downs. Yeah. Receiver is a very, very sneaky need for the Bills. Very sneaky. But Gabe Davis has been really bad this year. He has a lot of drops. Last I checked, he was second in the league in drop percentage. And he has not been separating well either. And so when teams are taking away Diggs, this offense is actually struggling to move the ball. If you think about it, like, who are the weapons the Bills have, right? They have Diggs. Dawson Knox, he's pretty good. Gabe Davis seems extraordinarily average after this year. Cole Beasley? I mean, no, right? Isaiah McKenzie is not good. He's a gadget player. He's a special teamer, really. He's a returner. Bring him in for some sweeps. He should not be your starting slot receiver. You know? Khalil Shakir, rookie. I think he's going to be good, but he's a slot guy. I think they need some speed. I think receiver, I would not be surprised at all if they went that in the first round, the more that I think about it. As much as I want them to take a guard, if the value is not there, I want them to take a receiver, and I am totally happy with Josh Downs. Chiefs, Nolan Smith. Stop the slide. I know some of you guys have probably been looking at it. But again, PFF has a weird board. I don't think Nolan Smith is that high on most people's boards. But yeah, I will go Nolan Smith. He's a bigger body. Kind of like what the Chiefs like. If he wasn't, if they like more like outside linebacker types, I would definitely would have gone with BJ Ojulari. But no, I think it's just simple for me. It's just best player available for the Chiefs, who will always have an awesome team, it seems like. And for the last pick of the actual first round, we are going to go BJ Ojulari. Yeah, I think the Eagles get away with a great player. I really like BJ. I'm kind of higher on him than a lot. I really like him. And now with Joey Porter Jr. and BJ Ojulari, I mean, oh my God. Like, this is a team that's favored to go to the Super Bowl this year, you know? Like, oh my God. They just get so much better. And they have cap space too. It's scary. But I will do one more pick to make it the round 32 we all know and love. Chicago got fleeced, and the Steelers did awesome to acquire the number 32 overall pick, a first round pick in any other draft. We went O-line for them. Yeah, we went Osiris Torrance. This is tough for me. I don't know why it's so tough. Ooh, Lucas Van Ness would be good. Is that something they're targeting? An edge rusher? No, it's not. They have Highsmith. Across from TJ Watt is obviously the big one. No, they're getting Clark Phillips. He technically falls out of the first round in this, but not the first round. Do you count that as the first 32 picks? But yeah, that is the draft. That is it. I'm done. Only doing the first 32 picks. To recap, I will slowly scroll through this. You can look at it again if you want to. Let me know in the comments what you think I did right, what you think I did wrong, fits you really, are excited to seeing. Maybe some of your draft takes. Let me know. I always love interacting with you guys down in the comments. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and have a good one, guys. Peace out.